Welcome back to Dolphins United, the platform for Dolphins. You heard me. We back in the house. Got a video for y'all real quick. Just wanted to go over the whole Tua situation and what I expect and what I would like to see the Dolphins do with this quarterback moving forward. But before we get into that, all right, many of y'all know I went on a cruise. And my wife was able to find me something special for the Dolphins. Okay, now I can't put it up yet because I don't have no studio. All right, and yeah, there's nowhere to put it up behind me. I don't think it would make it past a few seconds. All right, so anyway, that being said, this is what I was able to get. Okay, my wife got me this. It's like a little mini football sculpture made out of rock. Okay, and hopefully it zooms in. Boom, it did zoom in, and look at that. It's the old logo. All right, most of y'all love the old logo. So this is what we're looking at here. It's a little football. All right, so that's what we got. That's what my wife was able to get me, and then it's got a little bass. All right, so basically that. Once I have a little studio type thing and shelves, and I'll be able to put that up. But yeah, thought it was a real cool gift. Got it in the DR on our last day before we came back. And she got that for me as a little surprise. So, and the funny thing about that is, I walked into a little store because I was looking for them. We were at the beach, and these people, there's like stores everywhere, and then they're hustling you to come to their store and try to buy something. And I went up in a store, and I was looking for the Dolphins because I seen every other team. They didn't have the Dolphins. I asked the guy was like, no, sorry, I don't have the Dolphins. I'm like, dang, it is what it is. You know, I'm on the hunt for my wife anyway, and I was looking for her. Little did I know, she was at another store. She seen it. She bought it. So there we go. I actually got it anyway. All right. So now let's get into the video. Okay. There's a reason why I'm doing YouTube, that Dougley does YouTube, TD, K Flexing, Reason, Stephen D. There's a lot of us, right? There's a lot of us that came in after as well. Came in after me, came in before me, came in probably with me. All right. There's a reason why we all do this, that we all give you Dolphin content. It's because we have the real pulse of the team, as opposed to somebody who is watching a few second clip and spewing nonsense on TV, all right? The reason why we do this is because we know the actual truth of what's going on, and we're not just talking heads. We know what's going on, all right? The reason why I'm so upset is because of the nonsense that they're talking about regarding our head coach. They're acting like the man just knowingly put Tua out there against better judgment because he wanted to win a football game, knowing that Tua could have gotten hurt like that. All right? It's like, do you know who this guy is? Have you listened? We've listened to every press conference. Okay? We know what it is. They don't. Let us talk about this stuff. If you don't know it, don't talk about it. All right? Now, this is going to be a little bit of a mini rant at the beginning. All right? Just letting you know right now. They don't know about who Mike McDaniel is. They haven't listened to his press conferences. They haven't spent no time getting to know the man like we have. Okay? For you to just point fingers at the man as if this is his fault is wrong. Okay? For you to act like you're in his head and you know his intentions on doing what is best for his football team or lack thereof, that's wrong. Okay? Now, you can assume that, or you can make a statement that he should have possibly done better, right? I'm okay with that. But for you to say he put Tua out there knowing that Tua could get hurt again and against his better judgment, put him in the game because he needed to win that Thursday game, that's a bunch of baloney. All right? I'm not going for that. We as Dolphins should not go for that. All right? We know what kind of coach we have, what kind of character he has displayed so far, okay? We can't go for that. We got to go against stuff like that. Like, you know what? Y'all just need to shut up. All right, at this point, just shut up because you don't know who you're talking about here. He would have never done that if he knew that Tua could get injured. All right, seriously injured. He didn't know anything was wrong with Tua. Okay, yes, Tua was wobbly in that Buffalo game, right? We all saw it. But Tua was talking about his back. Okay, he cleared concussion protocol. He was allowed back in the game because of that. All right, that's your starting quarterback. If he clears concussion protocol, you're going to put him in. Now I've heard coaches say, "Oh well, I would have left him out." Nonsense. All right. If Lamar Jackson went out wobbly and he said his back was hurt, guess what? He's going back in the game. I don't want to hear that from you, John Harbaugh, especially when in the past you've had guys concussed and they went back in. All right, Belichick. I've pulled guys out even when they passed concussion. Miss me with all that. Julian Edelman had a concussion in the Super Bowl. You put him back in the game. All right, man couldn't even remember the doggone game. All right, miss me with all that. All right, it's after the fact they're able to say all this stuff, right? Miss me with all that. If your quarterback passes and he's telling you that it's his back that gave out on him that caused his legs to do whatever it is, you ain't no doctor. You trying to win a football game. You over here trying to figure out plays. You can't even compute all that. You're like, dude, all right, go back in there. Let's figure it out. Tua didn't even get hurt the rest of the game. All right? Passed every test. All right? This is where it kills me. They say, they said that it was a back injury, so they let him back in the game. No. He went to concussion protocol, okay? They're missing that fact. He actually went to concussion protocol and passed, all right? They didn't say it was a back injury. He went in for his head, all right? He told them he had a back injury from previous, from plays before when he ran the QB sneak and he got bent backwards and he fell over and he had a hard time getting up. That did happen, okay? Ankle injury as well. He told them while he was getting checked for a head injury, he had a back injury. He passed the concussion protocol. They knew he had a back injury at that point. He went in the game. They didn't let him back in the game because it was a back injury and not a head injury. He got checked for the head injury. All right, we got to get these people got to get their facts straight. Not us. We know what we talking about. These people got to get their facts straight when they talking about our team. All right, here's another thing. They played him too early on Thursday. I would agree. Tua should not have played early on that early, all right, being that he actually had a concussion, all right? We know now Tua definitely had a concussion. How did he pass the protocol? I don't know. Samoan Warrior stuff. I don't know, all right? He passed the protocol. He was let back in the game. Plenty of players have done it. Drew Brees said he passed so many concussion protocols and went back in the game knowing that he got his bell rung. It happens, all right? These guys are warriors. They're going to try and cheat the system. There's times where I've seen Brett Favre, who had never missed a game, right? Brett Favre hadn't missed a game in forever. You know how many concussions that man has probably had in his career? There's many times where I had seen him on the sideline with the smelling salts after getting his bell rung, like, all right, trying to liven himself back up. There's plenty of players that be with the smelling salts for concussion reasons and not for anything else. All right, just trying to liven themselves back up, shake off the cobwebs so they can get back out on the field. These are gladiators, all right? They're not trying to be off the field. They're trying to keep their job. They're trying to keep their money. They're trying to provide for their families, so they're doing what they feel like they got to do. This is a dangerous sport. It's a sport that can end up killing people, but they want to do it anyway. They know all that. They sign up for all that, all right? They understand that there's no promises, okay? They sign up for it. They don't care. They love the sport that much, all right? That's what happens. That's what happens. Unfortunately, that's the ugly side of football, all right? Injuries happen, and one of the biggest injuries that can happen is a concussion where you end up like Tua was, all right? We didn't know this stuff was going to happen because Tua passed every test every day leading up to the game. Nobody wants to talk about that. They just want to talk about the Dolphins saying that it was a back injury, so they let him back in the game. Like we were trying to con people, like he didn't pass the protocol, right? So he passed the protocol. He passed the protocol on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Well, not protocol, whatever test they gave him every day. Thursday leading up to the game, he was good to go. They put him in the game. Tua holds the ball too long, gets hit, hits the back of his head, we know what happens after that. All right? That is the story of what happened. Did McDaniel do anything wrong? No, he didn't. He did what any coach would do to a player that passed and that said that his back was hurting and you're trusting the player. All right? Did Tua do something wrong? Let's talk about it. All right? Tua had to have known that he got his bell wrong. Tua does not want to leave the game. Tua, when he hurt his ribs, didn't want to leave that game. He tried to fight Flores to come back in that game, and Flores said, you're not going back in. Matter of fact, we're putting you on IR. Finger issue. Tua didn't want to leave the game for that. He wanted to get that situated and get back in the game. Flores told him no. He had to miss the next game after that. All right? Tua is not trying to leave the field for no injury. All right? He wants to get it wrapped up and get back in there. All right? To fight with his team. That's the type of player he is. That's the type of person he is. Tua probably, all right, and I'm guessing, knew that he got his bell rung, came to enough, all right, although his legs weren't working, came to enough, realized, oh shoot, I gotta get taken out the game. Concussion protocol? Oh, there's no way, because if they catch me on concussion protocol, I might be out the next game. I gotta do whatever I can to pass that. He passes it. He knows he got his bell rung. He doesn't care. He's trying to get back out there with his teammates. He gets in the game. All right? Thursday, I guarantee you, there's no chance that Tua was trying to give them any inclination that he has any head injury going on. So he played it off, possibly. Back ankle. Stay off my head. I'm good. All right? Leave me alone about that. So he could play that Thursday game. Okay? Now, doctors, all that stuff, right? Could they have seen everything and just said, you know what, we're shutting it down? Yes. All right. Why didn't they do that? I don't know. One of them got fired because of that fact. All right. Something was missed somewhere, and potentially he should have left Tua out of the game. He didn't. It happens. All right. Tua was able to finish that game, no injury. Next game, he got injured. And then everything blows up from there, right? But what we know for sure is that McDaniel didn't put him in harm's way knowingly, okay? That's not his style. And we also know that Tua actually went out of the game and went in the concussion protocol and then told him about his back, the back injury, and then he came back in the game, all right? He passed that protocol. Okay, and came back in the game. All right, they didn't let him back in just because it was a back injury and not a head injury. They tested the head. All right, that is very clear, and I need the media to just knock it off. Let us do us. All right, I know they don't know about us like that, but we got us. All right, let us do us. We know what's going on. If you don't know what's going on, don't talk about us. All right, just leave us alone. Talk about what you know. All right, don't talk about what you don't know at all. All right, or go get educated about what you know. Come watch us, all right, and then we'll let you. I'm kind of late, but come watch us, all right, and then we'll let you know what it is, and then you can go talking about what you want to talk about. If you don't believe us as sources, then you might want to watch more videos because we're the best source y'all got, all right, outside of the actual sources on the team, of course, and media people. Anyway, let's get into why, or what they need to do, not why, what they need to do with Tua, in my opinion, moving forward. All right. Some people, okay, and I know TD has mentioned this himself, believes that Tua should not play anymore, right? Believes that Tua is risking his life by being out on the field. Newsflash, so is about 90% of the league, okay? At any point, you can get a concussion just like that, and it could be the only one you need, all right? You might not get a chance for 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. All right, it could be the last one you have, and then God forbid you're paralyzed from the neck down, waist down, the whole body. That can happen on any play for about 95% of the league. All right. What are we just going to shut the league down? No, they're not going to do that. All right. So being that they're not shutting the league down and it ain't flag football yet, then I don't anticipate guys are just going to walk away from the game because of a concussion, even a bad one. All right, because they knew that they had a chance to get a concussion when they got in the game in the first place. All right, so for us to pretend as if these guys don't know their life is at stake is not good. Okay, we don't need to pretend like they don't know that their lives are at stake. They know what they're in for. They know what they signed up for. Some people, I've heard OBJ say that, I'd rather die on the field. Okay, he's cool with dying on the field. I know there's other players that believe that as well. All right, maybe Tua is one of those guys. We have no right to make them stop playing if that's how they feel. If that's how they feel, that's how they feel. They're playing football. They know what they got into. Okay, now if you want to save them from themselves, then go own the team. Okay, but if we don't own no team, all we're doing is watching football. All right, if you want to protest to a plan, then don't watch the Miami Dolphins. That's the best you can do, right? We can't do nothing else. At the end of the day, Tua's a grown man. He's gonna make his own grown man decision. All right, if he want to play football, then he's gonna play football. And what he's gonna have to do moving forward, if he wants to be around a long time, get rid of the football. All right, that's it. Get rid of the football. You can't control what you can't control. Sometimes you're gonna get hit, but control what you can't control. Get rid of the football. All right. Best thing he could do for himself right now. Tua, I doubt, is going to be retiring from the NFL. We would have got an inclination probably by now that he's probably mulling it over. I don't see that in Tua's future, okay? So, with that being said, I believe Tua should sit the next 3 games, okay? I would tell Tua, look, you're out the next 3. I don't care if they clear you tomorrow. You're out the next 3. You're going to sit down. You can circle the game after that. The game after Pittsburgh. Circle that game. That's your game. All right? If you're cleared. If you're not cleared by then, I'm shutting you down for the year. All right? Now, I don't want you to go. This is what I would tell them. Tell Tua. I don't want you to go trying to Herculean your way through this. All right? We're going to see through all of that. If there's any inclination that you won't be able to make it through the year, we're shutting you down. Plain and simple. All right? That's it. Next 3, you're out no matter what. And if by then you still ain't good, we shutting you down for the rest of the year. All right? Shutting you down. That's what I would do if I was the people in charge. If I was one of the people in charge of the whole situation. Because at the end of the day, player safety is important. And if you feel like the next hit could be his last hit, you shut him down for the year. You let his brain get healthy. And then you put him in next year, and then you see what happens. But if he's good to go, all right, next week, I shut him down for the next 2 just to be on the safe side. And then in that 4th game, we're ready to roll. All right, that's our starting quarterback. We're ready to roll. We're putting him right back on in the fire because at the end of the day, at some point, he's going to play. All right, whether for us or for somebody else, he's going to play. We cut Tua, he's getting picked up tomorrow. All right, somebody's picking him up. They're putting him on the practice squad. They're going to let him get right, and they're putting him in the game. All right, that's a guarantee. All right, so it might as well be us. We put him in when he's ready, okay, and then we play him, and then we move on with our lives. At the end of the day, this is football. People are going to get injured, all right? Why do I say this, right? Why am I acting like this? Because we got a quarterback that's in there right now off 2 concussions last year, and the second one put him on a stretcher. Who's that? Teddy Bridgewater, all right? Teddy Bridgewater right now is playing quarterback for us as our starter because Tua's out, and he had 2 concussions last year. That put him out. What? Should he stop playing football too? You know what I'm saying? Like, what are we going to do? Everybody that gets a concussion, you're done for the rest of your career? It won't be no players. You know how many players had concussions last week? Just this past Sunday, so many players had concussions. All right? They was catching them left and right. You got a concussion, you out of there. You got a concussion, you out of there. All right? All these people, what are we going to say? Y'all done for your career? Now I know some of y'all are going to be like, well, they didn't have the fencing thing. All right? I understand that. But there's been players that did have the fencing thing that did come back as well. All right? You have multiple concussions and you're still able to play football, so can Tua. That's all I got to say about that. All right? So can Tua. It's his life. He's got to make that decision for himself. All right? If he wants to play football and they want to let him play football, he's going to play football. And I'm going to be sitting there watching and I'm going to be cheering for my doggone team. Now, I hope nothing happens to the man, for sure. And I'll be praying for his safety. But I'm going to be watching my team and I'm going to be rooting for my team because I want to win. All right? Now, not at the expense of Tua do I want to win, but I want to win at the end of the day. All right? So two things can be true. I care about Tua and I still want to win. All right? And I know that a lot of us probably feel that same way. We care about Tua, but we still want to win. At the end of the day, we want to win. Teddy Bridgewater had two concussions last year. He's in there playing right now. All right? If you feel that bad about it, then that means Skylar's our quarterback, and then you might want to look to see if he has some concussions. All right? Because we know Jalen Phillips had 2 bad concussions himself in college, and he's playing out there. All right? So, guys have concussions. It's a part of football. It's the ugly part of football. We understand that. All right? But the Dolphins didn't do much out of the norm. All right? They're not a bad franchise for letting Tua play. Tua found a way to play. He played the game. He got hurt. Okay? Now, I'm not putting the blame on Tua necessarily, but Tua knows what he was getting himself into. I'll holler at y'all in the next one. Y'all already know what it is. Fins up till we die. See y'all in the preview.